Hello everyone, we are the Big Five. Welcome to our reflection video of chapter 10 and 11. These two chapters will revolve around pricing, one of the four elements of marketing mix. Here are three learning objectives of chapter 10. Let's begin with the first objective. As a customers, you may already very familiar with the term price. Every product comes with a price. More broadly, price is the sum of all the values that customers give up to gain the benefits of using a product or service. Historically, price plays a key role in buying choice. However, in today's market, non-price factors are becoming more and more important. For instance, consumers nowadays also consider the quality, the durability, or how eco-friendly of a product. In a four-piece marketing mix, price is the only element that directly produces revenue. Moreover, it is also considered as a tool for creating and capturing customer value.
After understanding the nature of price, now we need to know why pricing strategy is important and how to set it. Customer perceptions of the product's value set the ceiling for its price. If the customer assesses the product's price as higher than its value, it cannot be purchased, and vice versa. Companies must have the right pricing strategy to make profit. There are several external and internal factors that should be considered in setting prices, including cost, competition, and customer value. There are also the three areas of focus that are the basic for three major pricing strategies we will discuss in this chapter. The very first strategy is customer value-based pricing. Again, product price and customer perception have a very strong influence on each other, so value-based pricing focuses deeply on this aspect. Moreover, good value is not the same as low price. This is also how those high-end brands make a profit. They offer extremely high-quality products that satisfactorily meet the customer demand, so they agree to pay the expensive price. There are two types of value-based pricing. Good value pricing. First comes everyday low pricing, which is about costing low price with few or no price discount. For example, Walmart is a typical example for this concept. The contrast is high low pricing. For instance, virtually all smartphones, especially flagship and mid-range phones, are introduced at the high price point and gradually discounted as the hype dies down or new models are announced. Another strategy is value-added pricing. Rather than setting low prices to compete, companies adopt value-added pricing. A great example of value-added pricing can be observed in premium airlines. While their airfares cost a lot more compared to low-cost airlines, passengers who choose to pay for their airfares are willing to shoulder the additional cost because of their product's high value. Companies set prices based on the cost of product and add a profit margin. There are two forms of cost. Fixed costs are costs that do not vary, such as electricity bill or salaries. Variable costs vary with a level of production, such as production supplies or delivery cost. And the sum of fixed and variable cost is total cost, which must be covered when setting a price. Wise decisions on prices require a thorough understanding of the cost of different levels of production. First is short term. Suppose a clothing company is able to produce 100 outfits a day. As fixed costs do not vary, the more clothes they produce, the lower the average cost will be. This is because fixed costs are spread over more units. However, going beyond the true capabilities such as producing 200 outfits can be counterproductive since the plant is inefficient. This cost behavior is demonstrated by an SRAC. When a company is ready for upgrading its production level, it now has to consider the long-term average cost. Upgrading the production capacity to 1,000 per day would be beneficial for the company because unit cost is lower, but upgrading to 2,000 per day would be less efficient due to various problems that are difficult to manage. After an amount of time producing goods, companies start to get experience. For example, workers become more familiar with equipment and more skillful. The production chain is organized more efficiently. This also helps in cutting the unit cost. This drop in average cost with accumulated production experience is called the experience curve or the learning curve. However, experience curve pricing carries some major risk. Might give the product a cheap image, assumption that the competitors are quick. Competitors might find better tech that let them start price lower than the market leader focusing on one tech. Cost plus pricing or makeup pricing is adding a standard makeup to the product cost for profit. First, a manufacturer needs to identify the cost of the product by this calculation. And the makeup price is calculated as although makeup price is not the best price since it ignores demand and competitors' prices, it still remains popular for many reasons. Sellers are more certain about cost than demands. Price competition is minimized, earn profit without taking advantages of buyers. Break-even pricing or target return pricing use the concept of the break-even track. The break-even volume is where total revenue and total cost crossed. It can be calculated as this calculation. Competition-based pricing. In assessing competitors' pricing strategies, there are several things to consider. The old market offering compared to others in terms of customer value, how strong competitors are, and what their current strategy are. What principles should guide decisions about prices to track relative to those of competitors? The answer is simple in the concept, but often difficult in practice. No matter what price you chart, high, low, or in between, be certain to give customers superior value for that price. Suppose a firm needs to price a new coffee maker. The firm's competitors sell it at $25. However, it signed a contract with a supplier who offers a much higher quality coffee maker. The firm then sets the price higher than $25 because it creates greater value to customers.
Our third objective is on other internal and external considerations affecting price decisions. There are several other factors that must also be taken into account when setting prices. External factors include overall marketing strategy, objectives, and mix, while internal ones are the nature of the market and demand and environmental factors. Before setting price, the company must decide on its overall marketing strategy for the product or service. Pricing strategies often require regular realignment to meet changes in the pricing environment. If a company has selected its target market and positioning carefully, then its marketing mix strategy, including price, will be fairly straightforward. For example, Uniqlo aims at the 18 to 40 age group and positions itself as a casual brand made for all. Therefore, it can set the suitable prices. Companies often position their products on price and then tailor other marketing mix decisions to the prices they want to charge, which is the reverse of the product development process. When it comes to company objectives, it might be more correct to say that it is the price that affects them, not the other way around. Pricing can help a company in many ways, including attract customers, retain existing ones, prevent competition, stabilize the market, keep loyalty and support of sellers, avoid government intervention, create excitement, help the sales of other products.
When featuring price, marketers need to remember that customers rarely rely on price alone. Instead, they seek products that give them the best value in terms of benefits received of the price paid. Management must decide who within the organization should set prices. In small companies, prices are set by top management, while in larger ones they are handled by divisional or product managers. In industries in which pricing is a key factor, such as airlines or petroleum, companies have a specialized pricing department. It is important for companies to understand the relationship between price and demand, including its variation between different types of markets, as well as how to analyze it before setting prices. There are four types of markets: pure competition, monopolistic competition, oligopolistic competition, and pure monopoly. Pure competition occurs when a large number of companies compete against each other. Under pure competition, no single buyer or seller has much effect on market price, and they are free to enter or exit the market. Under monopolistic competition, buyers and sellers trade over a range of prices, as sellers can differentiate their offers to buyers. Sellers can also utilize marketing strategies to set their offers apart. An oligopoly market consists of a small number of large companies that sell differentiated or identical products. Since there are few players in the market, their pricing and marketing strategies are independent of each other. For example, if one of the actors decides to reduce the price of its products, the action will trigger other actors to lower their prices too. In a pure monopoly market, a single company represents the whole industry. It has no competitor and is a sole seller of products in the entire market, such as Petrolimics and EVN. Pricing is handled differently in this case. This market includes government and private regulated monopoly. Let's have a look at the price-demand curve. Different prices will lead to different levels of demand, and the relationship is inverse. The higher the price, the lower the demand. Understanding the price-demand curve is crucial to understand pricing decisions. If a demand is elastic, sellers will consider lowering their price to produce more revenue. However, companies also want to avoid turning products into commodities in customers' eyes. Pricing decisions are affected by economic factors since they influence customer spending and perception of the products. Oftentimes, companies respond to economic realities by cutting prices and offering discounts. Take the example of COVID-19 pandemic. After a long period of temporary closure, a lot of businesses offer discounts to attract customers again. However, this is only useful in the short term because lower prices mean lower margins. Instead, companies are redefining their value or developing price tiers to supply a wide customer segment. The final one is external factors. The impacts that prices will have on other parties also need to be taken into account. The company should set prices that give resellers profit and help them sell effectively. Moreover, it needs to consider the government regulations and social concerns.
So we have just learned that price is an important marketing mix tool for creating and capturing customer value. In this chapter, we'll look at some additional pricing considerations shown on this list of objectives. Now let's move on to the first part, pricing strategies for new products. As a product passes through its life cycle, the pricing strategies following it usually also change accordingly. In this cycle, the introductory stage is the hardest since the product is priced for the first time, and companies can choose to either do market skimming pricing or market penetration pricing. In market skimming pricing, Companies set high initial prices for new products to skim revenues layer by layer from the market, then gradually reduce the price as new models are introduced. This happens a lot in tech companies whose products are in high demand, like Apple or Tesla. However, this strategy only works if 1. The product's quality and image is strong enough, and so does the consumer's willingness to pay. 2. The cost of producing less isn't bigger than additional charge, and 3. Low risk of competitors jumping in with a lower price. Next, in market penetration pricing, companies go for initial low prices to quickly penetrate market and win a large market share, thus lowering the cost and allowing for further price cut. A good example is Costco, who sells organic foods at lower prices. This strategy also has some conditions for it to work. 1. The market has to be price sensitive. 2. Production and distribution costs must decrease as sales volume increases. And 3. The penetration pricer must maintain its low price position while preventing new competitors with its low prices.
When a firm's product is part of a product mix, they usually come up with a set of prices that maximizes their profits. This is a difficult process due to the demand, cost, and competition differences between products. This is why companies follow 5 main product mix pricing situations as the backbone to help their evaluation. They are product line pricing, optional product pricing, captive product pricing, by product pricing, and product bundle pricing. Now, let's dig deeper into each situation. First is product line pricing. Many big companies usually develop not just one product, but a whole product line at a time. Pricing of product lines requires a firm to take into consideration different features, costs, and customer value evaluation between products in order to come up with the most appropriate prices possible. For example, the new iPhone 14 series from Apple charges different prices for different models. The base iPhone 14 costs $799, while the Pro Max version costs $1,099. The extra $300 charge is due to the exclusive features that come with the Pro Max, such as Dynamic Island and a better CPU. Second is optional product pricing. This is the process of pricing side products that come along with the main products, like a car GPS tracker or a phone case. As they are just optional, it's very difficult for a firm to price it. They can either include it with the price of the base product or offer them plainly as options. Thirdly is captive product pricing. Sometimes a company can choose a different approach. Instead of putting the price on the base product, they can shift the cost towards the things that must be used alongside the main component. For instance, when you buy a coffee machine, you are required to get coffee powder or beans to brew coffee. So the distributor of the machine might choose to lower the price of the machine and increase the price of the coffee pots. In case of services, the name for this process is two-part pricing, where the service is broken into fixed fees and variable usage rate. Fourth is by-product pricing. When you create a product, sometimes there will be byproducts, and getting rid of them might be too much for a company to handle. That's why they will find ways to sell products to reduce some of the disposing costs. Sometimes these byproducts might even gain profit for the company. And finally, product bundle pricing. When you go around and shop, you can usually see multiple products that are packed together and sold as a promotion or a discount bundle. This is called product bundle. And, for example, Adobe sells their software in bundles that come with a cheaper price compared to buying them one by one. This will help boost their sales of the products that consumers might not buy otherwise, but the pricing must be reasonable enough to get them to buy the bundle.
The third objective is price adjustment strategies. Price adjustment needs to be made in order to maximize profit and increase sales. To reward customers for certain responses, companies often adjust their price in 6 forms, including cash discount, quantity discount, functional discount, seasonal discount, trade-in allowances, and promotional allowances. There are several forms of segmented pricing. Under customer segment pricing, different customers pay different prices for the same products. For example, people often get discounts when they pay for a service in the month of their birth. Under products form pricing, different versions of the product are priced differently. For example, the price of the same type of car may vary due to different add-on features and colors, which may be limited edition. Using location-based pricing, a company charges different prices for different locations. Take the example of a bottle of water. Its price is significantly different in the supermarket compared to the airport. Using time-based pricing, a firm varies its price by season. For instance, winter clothes are more expensive during winter time. So as for segmented pricing to be effective, certain conditions are required. The market must be segmentable. Segments show different degrees of demand. The cost of segmentation cannot exceed revenue. The pricing method is legal, and it reflects real differences in customers' perceived values. Companies need to ensure their products are worth the price paid by higher price tiers, while learning to treat customers in lower price tiers fairly and carefully. In psychological pricing, sellers consider the psychology of prices. Usually, customers judge a product based on its price. The more expensive, the higher the quality. Another aspect of this is reference pricing. This is formed due to current prices, past prices, and buying situations. Sellers can take advantage of reference prices. For example, they can set the original price of a product at $3, but let it on sale for $2. Customers are more likely to make a purchase as they feel like having a great deal. A small detail can also signal differences. Companies often have a 9 or 0.99 at the end of a price to signal a bargain. By using promotional pricing, a company can create buying excitement and urgency. There are many forms of promotional pricing, such as discounts and flash sales. This is usually seen in online shopping platforms like Shopee or Tiki. Manufacturers sometimes offer cash rebates, which is a refund to customers who buy the products within a specified time. This can be low-interest financing, long warranties, or free maintenance. For example, smart device selling stores often offer low or no interest for customers to pay in the long term. However, the overuse of this method can lead to a reduction in brand image as customers only buy when products are on sale. A company must decide how to price its products for customers. In different parts of the world, there are 5 geographical pricing strategies. In FOB origin pricing, goods are placed free on board, meaning customers pay for the price, meaning customers pay for the freights. Because of delivering to different destinations, the costs vary, which may be a disadvantage to discount customers. Uniform delivered pricing is the opposite of FOB pricing, in which companies charge the same price for plus different freights regardless of location. Zone pricing falls between FOB origin pricing and uniform delivered pricing. As there are 2 or more zones, all customers within a given zone pay a single total price. The more distant the zone, the higher the price. Using basing point pricing, the sellers select a given city as the basing point and charge all customers the freight cost from that city to the customer location, such as Shopee resellers. Sellers who are anxious to do business with a certain geographical area might use freight absorption pricing, in which they absorb all or part of the actual freight charges to get the desired business. The reason is they get more orders, and the savings from average cost will compensate for this. Let's look at dynamic and online pricing. Before, it was very common to set the same price for all buyers. Today, companies are using dynamic pricing to make adjustments continually. This can help them optimize sales and serve customers better. For example, Ulta can increase its price in summer or other national holidays as the demand goes up. Some companies customize their offers and prices based on specific characteristics of online customers. For example, a person with a long history of purchases with a high rate of successful delivery usually gets a discount or benefit from the brand. However, dynamic pricing doesn't just happen online, it can happen by day, hour, or minute. For example, the price of a Grab card changes every minute, depending on traffic conditions and weather. Consumers also benefit from this form of pricing. For example, they can benefit from online price comparison like Agoda or Traveloka. Companies selling globally must decide what prices to change in different countries. This depends on manufacturers, namely economic conditions, competitive situations, laws and regulations, the nature of the wholesaling and retailing system. Additionally, companies have to consider the customer's perceptions, which vary between nations.
Now we move to price changes. Price changes includes initiating price changes and responding to price changes. First, companies may initiate either the price cut or a price increase. Initiating price cuts, there are several situations leading company to cut its price. The first one is its capacity. For example, in Vietnam, peak season for fruit and vegetables is usually in June and August. Prices of them are so low, some can drop by about 5 to 6,000 Vietnam dong. The second is fall demand due to strong price competition or a quickened economy. Dominate the market. Either the company starts with lower costs than its competitors, or it cuts prices in the hope of gaining market share that will further cut costs through larger volume. Initiating price increase include cost inflation. OPEC is a good example when it comes to the restriction of production in 1973. Industry whose inputs were oil and gas-centric saw massive increases in production costs and were forced to raise prices to keep up. The second one is overdemand, the situation where the quantity demanded is greater than the quantity supplied at the given price. When rising prices, the company must avoid being perceived as a price gouger, because it may lead to customers turning away from that company or worse, from the entire industry. Maintaining fairness surrounding price increases and clearly explaining the reason to the customers are the two primary ways to avoid this issue. Reaction to price changes, including buyers' reaction and competitors' reaction. Buyers' reaction vary from situation and brand image. Buyers might consider price increases as an increase in product value or an attempt to gain even more profit. In contrast, price cuts can deliver a good deal to customer or seriously affect the consumer's view about brand. Take example of high-end brands like Chanel. An increase in price could lead buyers to believe that product quality has recently been improved. However, if it suddenly low prices, consumers might doubt companies' product standards. Other companies with comparable products are more likely to react. Competitors are most likely to react when the number of firms involved is small, when the product is uniform, and when the buyers are well informed about product and prices. They could make alike responses or unlike responses, and companies have to analyze and assess those reactions. After receiving competitors' reactions, now we move to the opposite situation, responding to competitors' price changes. After evaluation, if the firm notices that there will be no negative impact from the price changes, it can choose not to act on it. In contrast, the firm could make any of these four responses. The first one is reduce price, the second one is raise perceived value, the third one is improve quality and increase price, and the last one is launch low price fighter brand. Let's go for the fight brand. Chesty is a fighter brand that works beating the competition and creating a lasting money-making brand. It is a wholly owned subsidiary of Qantas, created in response to the threats posed by airline Virgin Blue.
Setting a price is an incredibly important yet challenging task. Firms cannot charge as much as they wish, but have to abide by government policies. To prevent any misbehaviors causing turbulence in the market, government passes legislation for two aspects, within channels levels and across channel levels. There are 3 channel levels in total: producers, retailers, and consumers. Legislation within channel levels bans sellers to commit price fixings and predatory pricing. As for predatory pricing, we can see clearly during the COVID-19 pandemic, when there was a rising in demand due to the turbulent market. Some sellers lowered the price of the goods illegally to eliminate competitors. On the other hand, legislation within channel levels prevents price discrimination, deceptive pricing, retail price maintenance, scanner fraud, and price confusion. A typical example of pricing fixing is the illegal scandal that happened in 2004 between Virgin Atlantic Airlines and British Airways. Both sides agreed to raise the fuel surcharges from an average of £5 a ticket to over £60 a fare. The case ended up in which Virgin got immunity for providing the goods to its former partner in conclusion, while British Airways bore £300 million fine. All in all, unethical behaviors related to pricing must be prohibited, because after all, treating customers fairly is an important part of building strong and lasting consumer relationship. That's the end of the Big Five reflection video. Thank you very much for watching.